My beautiful people, how you doing today? I actually combed my beard in preparation for this video. I thought about you because I care. Anyway, so I realized something today that's going to become an issue. All right, I talk about bad debt expense so much that I was certain that I had done a video already on bad debt expense. So I scrolled through my profile to see if I can find the bad debt expense video. I didn't see it, but it took me, a couple minutes to scroll through. I can't keep doing that. So more than likely what's going to happen is at some point I'm going to do a video on something I've done a video on before. I apologize in advance. Try not to let that happen, but it's going to be bound to happen as I do this day after day after day. Okay. All right. So anyway, bad debt expense. What is it? A bad debt expense is any time that you extend a loan, an IOU, to a person, and that person does not pay you back. All right. Now, I talked in a past video, just maybe two videos ago, about the 4 ways to transfer money or property. Right. Number 1, you can pay someone for a service or for a product. Right. That's paying something in exchange for something. Right. That's one way to transfer money or property. The second way is to give a gift, right? We're all familiar with that, right? You can give someone a gift. The third way is to give charity. Okay, we all know what that is, right? The fourth way, though, that we're talking about right now is extending a loan. All right. Now, I've heard a lot of chatter concerning this kind of stuff in the past about becoming the lender and not the borrower. And that's a real thing. And it is very important, I think, right? Because you can actually become a lender. You can sell your own bonds. You really can. You can sell your own bonds. I just had a conversation with a brother on here discussing the Sam Houston toll road. And the question was, who owns it? Well, technically the people own it, right? The voters. The voters are the ones that voted for the toll road in the first place. And how did they pay for it? They issued bonds, right? And people purchased those bonds so that the county had the money to construct a toll road. In exchange, the county then paid back the persons that bought those bonds. They paid them back the principal plus interest. You can do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now, here's how this helps you, though, for tax purposes. This is a give me. Okay. This is a nothing. Okay. This is nothing. All right. If you extend a loan to someone, they don't pay you back, all right? You have what's called a bad debt expense. That bad debt expense is capped at $3,000 a year, okay? It doesn't matter how much the loan was for. And the IRS lets you go back 5-10 years if you want to, right? So you can go back 10 years and figure out all the people that owes you money that never paid you back, and you can put that into your 2018 tax return, okay? Now, it's capped at $3,000 a year. What that means is you have 3,000 this year, 3,000 next year, 3,000 next year, 3,000. There's no end. You can do 3,000 a year in perpetuity. That's why I say it's a give me. It's a give me, right? It's called a bad debt expense. It is a capital loss is how it's treated. Okay, it's on form 8949, I believe. But it's a Schedule D. Okay, it's a Schedule D form that allows you to take this loss. Very simple thing to do. As always, I'm going to back myself up. So what I have in front of me is IRS website discussing exactly what a bad debt expense is. Okay, so here we go. All right. So this is a non-business bad debt. Okay, that's what this is called, a non-business bad debt. All right. So it says all other bad debts are non-business. Non-business bad debts must be totally worthless to be deductible. You can't deduct a partially worthless non-business bad debt. A debt becomes worthless when the surrounding facts and circumstances indicate there's no reasonable expectation that the debt will be repaid. To show that a debt is worthless, you must establish that you've taken reasonable steps to collect the debt. It's not necessary to go to court if you can show that a judgment from the court would be uncollectible. You may take the deduction only in the year the debt becomes worthless. You don't have to wait until a debt is due to determine that it is worthless. All right. I think that's good enough. All right. Now, again, like I said before, this is a real give me. Okay. There's nothing that's required there's nothing required to submit for something like this. If you are asked by the IRS, then what you will need to provide is simply a name and contact information for the individual that the debt belongs to. Okay. Now, that contact information can be an email address, it can be an address, it can be a phone number, whether it's working or not. I mean, because truthfully, if it's a bad debt, maybe you can't get in contact with the person anymore. Maybe that's why the debt is worthless and you can't collect on it. I mean, it's very possible. You don't have to have a social security number. You don't have to have a birthday. We're talking about a literal, for real IOU, right? Written on paper. And this is something that I really want to stress to people, right? Again, there's 4 ways to give people stuff. And you got to really pay attention to how you're doing this stuff, okay? Now, I'm called an asshole plenty of times because, for the most part, I don't give gifts. I don't give gifts for the most part. If I give a gift, I don't usually give gifts. I either give charity, I'm paying you to do something for me, or I'm extending a loan. That's it. I don't give gifts. I don't see a reason for it. Now, okay, let me take it back. I do. The babies get gifts. The babies get gifts. Like, I'm a sucker for, like, you know, the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm going to give you all the learning gifts with the ABCs and the numbers and all that good stuff between the ages of 1 and 5. Once you hit 6, I don't do birthday gifts for the babies no more. 1 to 5, though, hey, man, I'll go broke if I have to. You know what I mean? I've done it before. All the learning gifts, all the brain teasers, all that stuff. I'm with that. So those we'll say are gifts. But other than that, though, I don't do gifts. I just don't. I show my appreciation when someone does something nice for me, right? And I return that appreciation in the form of some sort of compensation, whether it be a dinner, a back rub, cash, whatever. I mean, you know, we can barter, we can exchange, right? I have a charity, so I do give charity quite often. And I do extend loans, you know. Now, here's the thing. When I extend a loan, I tell people like this: if you pay me back, cool. If you don't pay me back, cool. Okay. Anyway, so again, bad debt expense, $3,000 cap. You can roll that over year after year after year after year. Depending on your tax bracket, that's going to be at least a $300 deduction for you. If you're higher than the lowest tax bracket, then you know you're talking about $450, $600, $700 deduction for you on your tax return. And keep in mind, you can go back and you can amend your tax returns for the last 3 years. You can amend for the last 3 years and do this on your tax return. All right, from me to you, holla.